Welcome back to DevTalks. And as you can see, this is way different thing right now. We're live. If you're listening to audio only, there still is going to be an audio only portion of this series. Don't worry, so you can just go wherever, listen to whatever you want to listen to. But YouTube is getting a live thing, and when I figure it out for Spotify, we're gonna add live videos for that as well too. And I feel like it will bring a lot more life to the show. You guys get to see me. This is your host Treavien. If you haven't followed me on social media, you wouldn't know what I look like, but now you do. Live in the flesh. Yes, I'm real. I'm not an automatic bot or no AI or nothing like that. So this is something I wanted to bring into the new year right here. I wanted to basically start off this year with something fresh and new. And I saved this video. It's supposed to be the last video of 2023 but I made it 2024 because I wanted to kind of bring some new format and kind of give you guys a rough idea of what's coming this year and how I can try to make it better. That is my main goal. Making this better is just the best goal that I'm gonna try to go for. We're gonna try to get everything up there, talk about as much tech, engineering, all the fun stuff as everything all together. But now it's just me. You get to see me. You get to see my reactions. You get to look at certain stuff live. Recently, I've been reading off of certain articles and seeing articles, and you guys can go through the articles with me. I can discuss them. You guys can see it right in front of you. We're going to be trying a bunch of different stuff, but for this new year. So get ready because this episode, we're going to talk about the top 5 tech companies of last year. The best companies, in my opinion. If you think I'm wrong, then you can challenge me on it. Don't worry. You can go in the comments. You can put in your suggestions of what you think your top 5 were. But based on the number of episodes I made on them, based on the number of stuff they changed, came out with, based on the hype around them and the society today, and based on the value that I feel like they're bringing or how much impact they're bringing to society, that is how I'm grading these top 5s personally. And I'm going to go through each one of my decisions, and if you, like I said, if you don't feel the same way, then we can kindly discuss it in the comments. Don't forget to share, like it, and bring it out to all your friends, everybody, because we definitely are going to try to go up this year in 2024, and almost messed that up. But yeah, we're going to go up in 2024. It's Kobe year. So let's really dive in and get started, and hope you guys all enjoy this. So let's tune right into Dev Talks. All right, so like I said, we're gonna be doing stuff a little different now. Uh, I get insight from a bunch of different people. I see how people do things. I want to try to make stuff as best as possible. And one of these things that I seen um, was from another creator, Anton Daniels, when he has a show every morning, whatever. He kind of structures his reactions a certain way, and I seen some other content creators really structure it a certain way. So as you can see, this is what we're rocking with right now. Don't worry, it's gonna get better as time goes on. But this is this is what we're gonna get into. So I have a little small presentation of the companies. They're all pre-listed up. I'm not coming up with this off the dome. I kind of put some thought into these and stuff, so it's somewhat educated as well too. But now we're getting a better picture of why I may believe this, or and then you guys also get a visual if you're watching this on YouTube and stuff. So it's a lot easier to go. But if you don't haven't already, uh follow those links down below in the social, and I will keep you guys updated on those platforms as much as possible this year. I'm typically bad with social media, but I'm trying to get better. Imagine that, a software engineer not good at social media. It's because we code the stuff. We don't do all the other stuff. But yeah. All right. So diving into this year, these 5 companies have really impressed me. And what impresses me the most is how the thing that I'm weighing the most is how much is it changing society and from a norm. And when we get to 1 and 2, maybe 3, um, maybe 3. Yeah, 3 you'll start to pick it up, but definitely for 1 and 2. And when you hear what I have to say, there's no way you can dispute them. I'm sure 1 and 2 will be on everybody's top 5 list. If not, 3 will be on there too. But the bottom 2 are kind of wishy washy. I can see how people can take them differently and stuff, but let's really get into it, man. Let's get into it. So we got 5. Now, what would you think 5 was? 5 can be anything. It can be Google. It can be Meta. We talked about social media a lot this year. We talked about stuff that Google's done this year. We've had the opportunity to talk about so much, and it's really funny because it's neither of those. What 5 is Rivian. This will be a shock, and this was more or less my personal um thing on here. I think last year I personally made a podcast episode about Rivian 1 or 2 times. 1 or 2. And even though I may have not have talked about Rivian as much as something I've done like Instagram or other social media platforms and like Twitter and all of that other stuff, it still made the top 5 because of things that one thing in particular I'm going to talk about later. But also Rivian's probably going to be talked about from me next week in our episode. So not only is it top 5, it's starting off the new year with some information, some knowledge that we're dropping down on it. But the real reason that I chose this was because they're doing an amazing job. So Rivian, the owners, the CEOs and stuff, I believe the co-owners, they used to work at Tesla and they broke off. And one like made the batteries now, and they like joined together and like made this whole new Rivian truck stuff. I started seeing it a lot last year. I think Marquise Brownlee got a Rivian truck, and I look up to him a lot. He's as far as technology goes, go check out his channel. But I seen a lot of videos about it in early 2023, and then I kept seeing more of it like pop up. I seen some people talking about how great of an investment it is. I've seen the inside, the software updates. Mind you, I've drove a Tesla before, and the information that the display gives you in the middle of the car is wonderful. And maybe I should do that, add that to the episode next week so that you guys can really see what I'm talking about. If you haven't, look up what the screen shows and then look at what Tesla shows you. So Tesla has their own good stuff as well too, but Rivian, they're doing it. I seen stats about almost every car that they produced about 17,000 cars, and they managed to deliver 13,000 of them out to people. So I feel like that's a pretty good ratio. I don't know as far for the whole car company goes how good of a ratio that is, but to me, I think that's really good, especially for a company that's going to be building up more. And trust me, I believe they're going to do way more this next year and the next years to follow from that. I really believe in them a lot, so I put them at number 5, but I don't know what you guys would put here, but we're going to jump into the next one because this one's definitely holding this spot. So, 4. 4, I put a company name down, but I feel like I should have just said the person. And I should have said the person because 4 is Tesla. When all things said and done, I talked about Tesla a good amount this year. But you know what I talked about more of? Elon. What Elon was able to do, what he's done through all his companies. I feel like I should have put him here instead. but I just put like the main company. Most people know Elon for Tesla, but Elon also has SpaceX. We talked about that. That was a jumping video. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. We've also talked about, what does he also own? X, which used to be Twitter. So that's two other companies right there that we spent a bunch of time between all three of his companies, Tesla, X, and slash Twitter and SpaceX. We put a good amount of information into like what we learned, what we were able to learn, and things that he was able to come out with and change and all this other stuff. So I didn't want to put X on here at all or any social media because X is worth half of what it's worth. I don't. The only good thing I can say about it is he's changing the way that social media can work to be able to maintain revenue from these systems and go beyond from that. Um, and he's added some little creativity into it, but I still think X and Twitter is such a crazy platform. It's really a crazy platform, and it might be, it's a lot of people's number one social media app, but and a lot of people don't even call it X anymore. He after he rebranded, but Tesla, their biggest accomplishment this year was finally rolling out the Cybertrucks. If you haven't checked out that episode, check it out. It was one of the last ones in the end of the year, and he's going to be delivering a bunch of them throughout this year. So he did it a good way. One reason I put this over Rivian is kind of the way the business did it. One, they made people wait too long, but one thing I can say for sure is that he got pre-orders in, so he knows exactly how many trucks he has to produce and of which kind. And that is such an amazing thing to like, because you can like, yeah, Rivian, they produced 17,000 and delivered 13,000, but if you get these people on these back orders like this, you produce 20,000, you deliver 19,000, that's even better. Like, so you're delivering what you're making and stuff. So he's finally getting off the production line. Cybertruck had so much hype. I seen a lot about it talked about when it first came out. It kind of died down yet, but we're still waiting for that moment for when they actually hit the roads. When they actually hit the roads, it might get crazy. I'm saying it now because that's another thing. Another thing why I put Tesla up here is because I finally, if you guys don't know, I drove a Tesla for the first time in Florida this year. I really enjoyed it. It took a minute to get used to, but before I drove in one, I used to talk a lot of crap about them. I really didn't like them too much and anything like that, but I really grew to like them to a sense and all of that. So I'm very appreciative of it. It was a good experience. Once when you get the hang of it, it's amazing. And it was really good figuring out how to drive it and all of that other fun stuff. So Tesla has definitely been up here, and recently SpaceX, how they've worked on another rocket and apparently it landed early this year. That can be another episode and things if you guys are interested in that. But they've also been doing stuff this year as well too. So as I said, I should put Elon up here. I should have did it, but Tesla, I'm gonna put them up here for the sake of the video and all of that. And that's where I'm gonna put at 4. 3. 3 is kind of special to me because it gave me the opportunity to see an event for the first time, and I'm probably kind of spoiling this, but just to dive right into it, it's Apple. Apple is the first company that I was able to react to an event to and actually watch events fully, dive deep into them, get information. And now with this new format, we'll be able to watch these live streams together. Don't worry, we'll have a 3 hour long episode if that's what I have to do to dive them all. To I don't know what I'm doing as it, but to dive into each segment of the live stream and stuff like that. If we have to do that, we'll have special episodes based off these events and when they go live and things like that. So that is definitely something that I hope for, that I'm wishing to work on, and all of this other stuff beyond that. But I really am appreciative of being able to do that, and they were the first people to do it. Now, they're number three because I feel like they did something that's a game changer, and that was one, the Vision Pro, and two, the M3 chips. So they release, of course, everybody knows they release watches, laptops, phones every single year. They're dropping a new one, like cakework, and everybody's like, yeah, it's the same as last year and things like that. But no, excuse me, the laptops are not. M3 laptops, them Johns are powerful. Um, a lot of stuff that I struggled with. I had a Surface Pro and stuff in school. I have a MacBook for work for with a certain type of chip in it, and just this M3 that I have for my project that I'm using to develop an app for the Vision Pro. And yep, I spoiled it finally. Last year, when the Vision Pro stuff came out, I started scheming and setting up an idea for the Vision Pro and creating an application for it. But I'm not going to say what it is until I get pretty deep into it and all of that stuff. But that's another reason why they're at number three. The M3 chips and the amount of advancements that they put into their nanotechnology. That's another microchip technology, I believe, not nanotechnology. That's another reason why they're up there. And I just feel like they've had so much come out this year that it makes a difference. People have videos of how long the iPhone 15s are lasting and things like that. I don't really see those kind of videos with other phones per se too much, but definitely with Apple, I've seen more traction around some of their stuff. And there's also some things that I'm quite interested in that I would also like and go from there as well too. But that was number three, and I'm holding that. I say it's better than whatever Elon was doing and stuff. And a lot of the reason why it's probably here is because of my passion for it. The iOS 17 had a lot of great changes as well too. I'm still exploring them as time goes on, but as I said, it is what it is. It's marked at number three, and we're gonna go into the two undisputable choices that you just can't argue with at all. So, number two, if you had to guess what number two was, I feel like a lot of you will flip flop one and two. Um, they're very debatable. They can be debatable, especially if you know what I put for two. If you knew everything they did this year, you might actually put them at one, possibly. But in my opinion, I'm gonna keep them at two, and that is the behemoth of a company, Amazon. So, like I was saying, let's just get this point out real quick. I put Rivian at five for another reason because of one of these companies I said. And this company is because of Amazon. Or, yeah, the slides this way. Got to get used to being on camera now. So, Amazon, what they're doing now is they're starting a fleet of electric vehicles and vans for their delivery workers. And guess what company is getting the contract and getting some of the work on it? It's Rivian, and they're at five. So now some of you might not be looking at me crazy anymore because with one of the biggest delivery companies, they're gonna be able to. They didn't choose Tesla's electric cars. You know, Amazon used a lot of Mercedes stuff for their vans and things. They didn't choose Tesla. They chose Rivian. And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons why they chose Rivian too. There's a lot of great stuff about their vehicles and things, but one of the things that really skyrocketed them to the top was because of switching to electric vans. And it's about time before a bunch of these delivery services switch to electric vehicles and go from there. And they're trying to be whatever safe and things, environmentally safe, or whatever the reasons are that they're switching to these vehicles. They're going to. And I'm sure with Amazon picking up Rivian for this, other companies will as well too. And that boosted them all the way up to five. And why they're such a great company as far as tech goes and technology and all of that goes. So Now, the last thing is not the last thing about Amazon. The next thing that I will say about Amazon, I'm a software engineer. The amount of work that other tech companies and other software engineers work within AWS's platform is crazy. Amazon is way beyond what people think they are. They have Twitch under their belt, a live streaming stuff. As I said, one of my streams came from my good friend TK, and he's a Twitch streamer. There's so many streamers on there, changing people's lives, giving people different perspectives. Even though Twitch is kind of controversial at times, it's still they have a big grasp on live streaming. Engineers and stuff, we use AWS for our work. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do within there between data and secrets and permissions and all this other data library stuff and things about that. Amazon has so many different features that lives within it, and it's really crazy how much they do. And one of the biggest reasons that they're at 2 right now is I saw a video. I'm going to try to find it so we can react to it, and I might add it to the list. So next week we might watch some videos based on what these companies are doing that made the top 5. We might see some videos about them. So, and go about that and see how that all may work. But they are moving to make their warehouses fully ran by robotics. I saw something about that and it's crazy. Strictly electrical and robotic. And they'll sort everything like that. They'll do all the sorting. They won't need people anymore. It's going to replace a lot of people's jobs that work inside of warehouses. And when they get that sorted out, other companies like UPS, FedEx, the post office may even do it, like with stuff where fully automating their sorting systems and where packages need to go and things, and stop with theft, because that's another reason Amazon is doing this. There's some workers that steal from their sorting stuff and all of that when they get the chances to, and try to get away with it. So they find this as ways to be more efficient, to especially to keep up with the demand on packages they go, to save on some money. And we're going to need a lot more people who are in robotics and coding with AI because of this new wave that's going to come for strictly robotic warehouses and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be something coming up in the future. Look out for it, and I'm telling you, it's coming, and it's going to be something that's extremely big and that everybody needs to watch out for, because it can really get spooky. Just saying, you heard it here first. You're getting the warning here first. It can definitely get spooky out here. And if you a software engineer and you love tech, dive into it. You're gonna get your job. Just keep trying. You're gonna get the job. Um, they gonna be out there. They definitely are gonna be out there because they're gonna need people to keep the lights on in there 24/7. So that is why Amazon is number 2 of 2023, and I wouldn't be surprised if they made it number 2 next year, or even number 1. They're gonna be in the top 3. I can guarantee it. If they're not on your top 3 list, then I don't know what kind of list you're writing. But as I say, you can argue with me in the comments, and we can have a nice conversation about it. But now to number 1. Ooh. If you watched this podcast, or listened to this podcast, should say, because now you're able to watch it, for the past year, there is one topic I've talked about the most. The most. I brought it up so much. There's a big wave about it, and you didn't see on this list yet because I'm about to talk about it right now. So you can relax. You don't have to go into the comments and say, "Oh, you forgot this" and stuff, because trust me, I know I wasn't going to put them down on the list. There was so much about it that changed society and all of that stuff, that it's number 1. It's really, when it comes to what happened last year, They're number one. And anybody who doesn't agree with me, tell me why. Tell me why. I'm curious because in my opinion, I really think they number one, and no other company is number one. Besides this one, Amazon wasn't scratching them because of how much they impacted society in the beginning of last year. And that company, and I'm getting into my mic right here, that company is nothing other than OpenAI. They had to be on the list. They had to be here. They had to get on the list. That's they had to be number one. They're the only company that could go to that number one spot for last year. And you know why? The beginning of last year, they released ChatGPT. Mm. You know what that did? It caused every company and they mamas, they sister companies, all the companies to create their own AI stuff. Every company created their own AI stuff when they dropped ChatGPT. They said we not getting left behind. As soon as this dropped, we ain't not getting left behind. Microsoft, you know what they did? Majority stakeholder in them instantly, like that, snapping their fingers. They quickly scooped them up. They the leaders. People made picture AI, music AI. People were having a bunch of conversations. How's this going to change? How's it going to affect artists? How we going to figure out deep fake stuff? How we going to know what's real, what's fake, what's created from AI? How can we help this? How can we make money from this? How we can do anything? People are using this to code better. They're adding this to GitHub Copilot. I need a water because this is this has just been something great, and they're honestly been the best company. No other company could top them. No other company could top them at all. And they like really strictly in my own opinion is they really changed a lot. They changed so much in the world that we know it today, and it's only going to get crazier. Mind you, towards the end of last year, they did have a crazy hiccup, and they could have gone to number one, the place number one to five instantly, and that would have just been for last year. If whatever happened last year continued into this year, they would have dropped down further. I bet for 2024, stuff would have got derailed. Stuff would have had gotten done the right way, and they were looking bad. They were looking like they was in bad shape. But you know what happened? They rehired the CEO and I believe the CFO as well too. And on top of that, the startup that the CEO who got fired started or backs, now they have an easy in to create to get AI chips delivered to them. So the CEO founded a startup for AI chips and creating them, and now he's the CEO of OpenAI, and now they're just getting more and more resources, and they're gonna get them for the low. And that other company is gonna sell stuff to other companies, I'm sure, but that that's really the world that we living in right now. OpenAI has been number one all because of ChatGPT, and they have a bunch of other stuff as well too, but there's so much that just went ablaze and people tried and integrated stuff with. Like, you can integrate it with Slack, you can do so much with it. I write descriptions for the podcast episodes in ChatGPT. I give it a prompt, I organize it, I tell it if I need stuff summarized, what I need in it, and things like that. And then I read through it, see what's good, what's not good, and then I have an episode description of what I talked about in the episode briefly to a point that it doesn't give you guys all the tea, and go in from there. So that has been the top five list of 2023. Top five best companies. That's the top five right there. So, really, let me know what you guys all think. Because, in my opinion, we got 5 Rivian, 4 Tesla, 3 Apple, 2 Amazon, and 1 OpenAI. And it's been a crazy last year. Last year we talked about so much, and last year has probably been one of my most knowledgeable years when it came to learning what other companies do, and especially in the engineering and technology world, and being able to relate to it and getting more information about it and being able to talk more on these topics and sound more knowledgeable and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys all think. And without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely know me in the comments. Tell me your top 5. Don't get scared. Really tell me. Share, share, and let me know what you guys think. This is a video. Um, it probably won't look like this all the time. The background and stuff. We're gonna try to figure it out. This is just the first episode. We're gonna grow as time goes, and this is gonna just become better and better. And that's all that it is. That's all that I want it to be, better, and that's it. So nice seeing you guys for the first time now, and see you guys next week. Have a good one.